This is a professional development presentation by myself, Matt Hummel. So the question is, why join a professional organization? Lee Fredrickson in Hinge 2016, The Value of Your Professional Associations, discusses 5 reasons why joining a professional organization is worth the time and money. The first is that a professional organization allows the professional to continue their education and gain more credentials, which in turn makes them better at their current job. Second, they can learn more about their profession, especially cutting edge technologies or innovations that will allow them to perform at a higher rate. Third, it offers a chance to learn from professional experts and, in a school setting, tap experts to provide professional developments to staff. Fourth, it allows a professional to specialize in a certain area of their job, which leads to the fifth, the option for the professional to speak about their knowledge of a specific topic at a conference, professional development setting, or publish an article. This presentation covers the professional organization of the International Society for Technology in Education. Now that an understanding of how professional organizations can provide positive benefits for a professional has been established, this slide will demonstrate why, according to the aforementioned principles, ISTE is an excellent professional organization to join. ISTE provides access to a plethora of journals, blogs, podcasts, books, courses, and conferences, which allows teachers to continue their education and gain further credentials. Since ISTE is focused on technology and education, a teacher can become more knowledgeable about educational technologies, their impact on students, and how to successfully implement them. Through ISTE conferences and courses, teachers can learn from the foremost experts on technology and education and become specialized in specific areas of technology and education, which in turn enables them to become the experts at their school and perhaps in the field, as will be evidenced later on with a former teacher, Julia Lim. Now that ISTE has been proven to be a worthwhile professional organization, 3 resources offered by ISTE will be analyzed. This slide came from the International Society for Technology and Education main website at ISTE.org. What follows is an analysis of ISTE offerings and resources and their impact on teachers and students. The first blog is titled 5 Reasons Why It's More Important Than Ever to Teach Creativity. From reading this blog post, a teacher can expect to learn 5 positive benefits of adding creativity to classroom assignments. These 5 benefits address the academic and social emotional needs of students and come in response to the shift in education from creativity to content-based classes focused on the standardized test instead of the individual student. Each of the 5 benefits of creativity outlined in this blog post is intended for the benefit of the student, which again reinforces the addition of creativity as an embrace of personalized instruction and an emphasis on student well-being. The 5 reasons of teaching creativity are that it motivates students, promotes higher order thinking, reaches the hard to reach students, fosters emotional development, and provides employment skills. Due to creativity's broad positive impact on students, its addition to the classroom can benefit any and all student populations. This slide came from Kruger 2020. I chose this resource about creativity for 3 reasons. The first being that I now seem to teach virtually more than I do face to face, and I want to make sure that my students have the chance to be creative, even if the learning takes place virtually. Reading about the positive benefits of creativity pushes me to work harder to include creativity in my assignments, whether it concerns coloring a map of the US, designing a Flipgrid video, or completing a project. The second reason I chose creativity is because I teach middle school, 6th and 7th grade to be exact, and from what I have learned the past 4 years is that middle school students need a creative outlet. They are growing and changing so much during these years that strict demands and assignments do less for them than opportunities to get creative. One way I try and do this is when I teach lawmaking. I have my students create laws to fix school issues, which gives them the chance to get creative in solving problems that affect them personally. Finally, I chose the blog on creativity because I teach social studies, which is typically seen as black and white by my students, but I want to bring the color back to social studies. Through projects and other investigative assignments, I find the space to add an element of creativity, and after reading this article, I want to include even more creative space. The second blog is titled Augmented Reality Can Help Autistic Students with Social Emotional Learning. And what a teacher can learn from this blog post is referenced in the title. A little backstory, a fellow teacher, Julia Lim, who I referenced earlier, worked with students with autism, came across augmented reality when attempting to find the best ways to help her students succeed. Lim describes AR, augmented reality, as providing a virtual space between the student and the social interaction, much like popular apps Snapchat and Pokemon Go. Lim now designs AR apps and has created one called HoloLens to help students with autism, or really any disability, adjust to different social settings. In HoloLens, students complete virtual quests that are specifically designed to fit their needs or address an issue or goal they are working on, which is why AR and HoloLens can be adapted for students with any disability. This slide came from Fingal 2019. So, why did I choose this topic of augmented reality? In reality, it's because I don't know much about AR, and I wanted to see what its impact would be. And after learning about its impact through this blog post on students with autism and HoloLens in general, I have to say I love its personalized nature. I'm a proponent of personalized instruction, as all instruction, in my opinion, must be geared to the specific student or group of students to have the largest impact on learning. The ability of AR to meet the specific needs of students, especially those with special needs, is a main reason why I chose this resource. I also chose it because of its focus on the student's social emotional learning. I try and incorporate social emotional learning in my own classroom, and I have not thought of technology as promoting this type of learning. However, I can now understand how AR can be programmed for specific situations that allow students to interact with virtual people so as to help them build their social emotional knowledge and understanding. The third resource from ISTE is actually a course called Digital Citizenship in Action. This is a 15-hour course, and over the course, teachers learn about digital citizenship education and how to plan lessons in units to teach their students how to become responsible, socially conscious digital citizens. The resources and training received and practiced by the teachers during the course are perfectly applicable for implementation in their classrooms for their students. The teacher will learn how to teach students to use technology responsibly, how technology can be used to build community and relationships, and how the global aspect of technology can be harnessed for improving our global society. While the course is not designed for students to complete, the content in the course is meant to be taught to students by the teacher. While most would think of digital citizenship as applying to older students, the course is designed for K-12 teachers because, especially now, all students have access to technology and need to learn how to use it responsibly. Of course, the information taught by the teacher can be differentiated based on the age and technology literacy of the students, but at its core, the subject of digital citizenship is one that impacts or will impact every single student. This came from the source International Society for Technology and Education, Digital Citizenship in Action. Now, I chose digital citizenship mainly because when I teach civics, I focus on the topic of citizenship. Typically, it deals with real-life citizenship, but in today's day and age, digital citizenship is just as important, as people may interact more virtually than they do in person. Adding the digital citizenship aspect to my current citizenship unit would allow me to provide a more holistic approach to citizenship and teach another 21st century skill. Tied into this idea is the fact that my students are in middle school and have access to personal or school devices that they need to know how to use responsibly. They also need to know that this responsibility is more than keeping the device safe. It's using its applications and access to the internet responsibly. They need to understand this so that if they learn virtually or just interact with others on the internet in general, that what they say and do can impact them just as it would in real life. Now, we see this all the time with social media, but sometimes students think it can't happen to them. Teaching them how to be responsible digital citizens is an important issue and is a main reason why I chose this resource. Finally, the ISTE EdTech Conference is the flagship conference for ISTE, and the 2020 theme is Reinventing Education Together. This year, as with others, there are several hundred presentations covering a variety of topics concerning technology and education. The 3 presentations showcased are aligned with the resources from the ISTE website because those 3 topics do interest me as an educational professional. If I were attending the EdTech conference, I would make sure to attend the presentation called Creativity Games, Fostering 21st Century Success Skills with Pranita Matroa. From the ISTE website's resources, I now fully understand the benefits of creativity, and in the changing educational landscape of more virtual instruction, I want to make sure I provide opportunities for my students to demonstrate creativity. Also, the connection to 21st century skills really interests me, as I like to think I teach my students skills as much as content, so I'd be eager to learn how creativity can also be tied to 21st century skills. The second presentation I would be sure to attend is called the Augmented Reality 2021, the latest, the greatest, and replicable classroom success stories with Dr. Maureen Yoder. Because of its connection to the ISTE resource, and because, based on the description, it will provide more AR apps, skills, and tips to allow me to better help my students with special needs. Building an AR toolbox from this presentation will allow me to choose how to best help my students and provide the necessary evidence to persuade my school district to invest in AR for students with special needs. The final presentation I would be sure to attend is the Creating a Culture of Digital Citizenship PD for Teachers with Dr. Leanne Lindsay. I would choose this presentation in hopes that when combined with the ISTE course, I can specialize in digital citizenship and use my knowledge to teach other teachers at my school about digital citizenship and how to teach it to their students. The conference's website can be found in the notes, as can the program for the 2020 conference. And I referenced the ISTE program search in the references for this slide. Finally, this is the reference page. Thank you.